What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live. On today's stream, we got a few different topics to talk about. LaMarcus Aldridge is out for the season. He had season-ending surgery. I don't know exactly what it's on. Eric, what was
Shoulder.
His shoulder? Okay.
Shoulder, I think.
Yeah, because I saw that but didn't really pay attention to what it was. It was like some weird sort of injury or weird sort of, I don't know. It was just something weird. So I didn't know exactly what it was, but it's his shoulder. We also are going to talk about some possible channel improvements, get your guys' feedback on a couple things, and we're going to talk some more about the season restarting, some additional updates, and that is what we have on tap for today's stream. Let me get this out of Eric's way so I can see your guys' comments. And we're just going to start this off talking about LaMarcus Aldridge because it's just one less team that the Portland Trail Blazers have to worry about.
That pretty much ends the Spurs' chances.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting like a glitch message on my software, okay. But yeah, that's one less team the Portland Trail Blazers really have to worry about because that team is basically DeMar DeRozan and what else? DeJounte Murray. Like, LaMarcus Aldridge was their best player this past season, and without him, they really have no chance in my mind. Sure, they could pull off something unexpected and make a run, but it's really just one less team that the Portland Trail Blazers have to worry about. The way the season restart is shaping up, I think the only team Portland really has to worry about in that race for the 9th seed is New Orleans. I thought that was the case before, and now it's even more so the case because I think the next best team was going to be the Spurs if they had Aldridge, because you have two fringe all-star level players there, and now without Aldridge, I'm not really worried about the Spurs. That's definitely a big blow to San Antonio. It is kind of weird how you have a couple different teams that are set to restart having players that are having season-ending surgery, because you had Bojan Bogdanovic of the Utah Jazz. He ended up having season-ending surgery, and now you have LaMarcus Aldridge. So I'm wondering if there's going to be any other players that are going to have any sort of season-ending surgery, because
I think Orlando announced that Aminu and Jonathan Isaac were highly unlikely to play.
Which is weird because I thought Aminu's
timetable... They were both hurt beforehand.
Yeah, I just thought Aminu's timetable was to return right around the start of the playoffs in April, and now it's June. Mm-hmm. Not to say it was only a meniscus tear for Aminu, but it wasn't like an ACL, and he got hurt. Yeah. In 2019, he got hurt like 7 months ago, so the fact that he's still not ready to come back is kind of surprising. It would be fun to watch Aminu play for the Magic, just because we haven't really gotten to see that, and he's a former Blazer, so I was hoping he would return, but it seems like a lot of teams are being cautious with having players come back from injury when they were out before. You have the Brooklyn Nets, most notably with Kyrie and Kevin Durant not coming back, even though Kevin Durant's injury was about a year ago this time, and Kyrie, he was supposed to be out for the season, but if you're talking about resuming the season in August, obviously that's a different timetable. It's just surprising not to see teams really bringing back guys who were out for the season, but we're probably going to be healthy in August, you know what I'm saying? Because KD, I'd expect him to but we're probably going to be healthy in August, you know what I'm saying? Because KD, I'd expect him to be healthy in August. Same thing for Aminu, so I'm a little surprised at that.
Well, I just saw a report today that we talked about this last time, but it doesn't look like John Wall's going to play either. Which is really surprising.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's another example of that. It seems like the Blazers are the Blazers were going to have their guys come back anyway, so that's a different scenario. But John Wall was rumored to potentially be back in April. So it's like, okay, he's not going to be back in August. You know what I mean? It's just very, very strange. Honestly, the only way the Wizards would have a chance is if John Wall returns, because they have to be within 4 games. I think right now they're 5, maybe 5.5 back of Orlando. They could make up a 1.5 deficit to get into a play-in if they had John Wall, and then they'd have a chance in those play-in games if they had John Wall. I just think without John Wall, all you have you got Beal, you got Bertans, you got some decent role players, but you just don't have the top level talent needed to in order to really give them a chance. if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I saw an update on this from May 31st. It says he's claiming he's 110%. So there's the old thing we always make fun of. But
Yeah.
so that means he's like completely healed or whatever. And then the GM came out and said that getting the 8th spot is not looking at the big picture. So
yeah,
if he's 100%, I don't see how that matters. But I mean, if they had already planned to sit him out the season, I don't know if you risk playing him in those 8 games or not. But yeah, I guess it's not worth it to them.
Yeah. So before we continue on, I'm gonna try and figure out the picture to audio not being synced. My streaming software was glitching out today. That's why it took me a little bit longer to go live today. It was kind of freezing up, glitching. So I assume it's a problem with the software. I'm not surprised to see that it isn't synced, but I just got troubleshooted on air. I got to pull the stream up. I'll mute my mic right now, but I just want to see if there's any way I can fix it right now before we continue on with the stream.
Say now it's synced.
Now it's synced? Yeah, I was just going to say, I muted my mic, I started playing the video, and it looked synced up to me, so it might have hiccups here and there. But I just wanted to double check that before going on with it. It'll have hiccups. I don't know what is up with the streaming software. Maybe, I don't know. I'll mess around with maybe some settings after the stream and see if I can get something set up better. But I do plan on having a new stream overlay for our next stream on Friday. But we'll get into that when we get to the channel improvements. Because Thursday night, that's right. We're going back. we're the way we're doing streams from now on. If you guys weren't here on last Thursday for our stream where we talked about the season restarting, we are going to have like Monday during the day streams like we are right now, and then we're going to have like Thursday or Friday night streams. A lot of people can't make day streams, so I figured just having one in the day, having one at night was like just a good mix. Made more sense. I wish we started doing that a little bit earlier, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's up, Alvaro? Might have been me, my bad. No, it was. I keep getting like error messages with like the audio is glitching out on my end, so I think it's just the software. It's just stuff gets glitchy. But yeah, so Aldridge being out, going back to Aldridge. Spurs are a team you don't really have to worry about, in my opinion, for the Blazers. The Suns, you don't really have to worry about. Maybe the Kings. The Kings were playing well before this hiatus, but I mean, the Kings aren't as good as a healthy Blazers team, and the Kings aren't as good as a healthy New Orleans team. I think this is really going to come down to New Orleans and Portland, and that's going to be entertaining.
I wonder, because it doesn't really affect Portland, but teams that play the Spurs get an advantage then. I don't think the Blazers would be playing the Spurs at all.
Yeah.
Unless I was mistaken. So that, because there's not many easy wins when you have all the playoff teams. And so like you got teams like Brooklyn, Orlando, Washington, Phoenix, and now the Spurs. I don't know if we play any of those teams, do we? Well, I guess the schedule's not set yet, so it's hard to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the schedule. Because there could be a team where it's like, oh, they have to play the Lakers, but the Lakers might rest guys, because the Lakers they're pretty comfortable in the 1 seed right now, so I don't assume LeBron and AD are going to play every game. So that could honestly completely like mess things up if like the Lakers are resting their good players. You know, it can have a huge impact on this race to get into a spot to play in. So obviously, like whoever's playing the Wizards, the Suns, teams like that are going to have an advantage just because those teams aren't as good. But it might be a situation where you don't want teams that you're racing against, you don't want them facing the Bucks and the Lakers, because the Bucks and the Lakers both might rest guys for those games. So it's going to be really interesting to break down the schedules. As a Portland fan, I think the 3 schedules you really need to look at is obviously Portland's, and then you have New Orleans, and then you have Memphis's. Those are really the 3 teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how teams balance that, because you got Milwaukee with a 6.5 game lead over the Raptors, so they basically have it clinched. Mm-hmm. And then you got the Lakers that are up 5.5 games on the Clippers, so they basically have it clinched too. But with it being such like a drastic difference between like this and a regular NBA game in your home stadium and all that stuff, I wonder how much game time they're going to need to get used to it. Not only that, but then to be playing after all these months off, get the rust off. It'll be interesting to see how much they push players like LeBron and AD, knowing they don't have to grind out a full regular season. So do you just let them play a little bit every game, or do you sit them some? I mean, load management with 8 games seems kind of weird, but
yeah,
there's also no point in risking it.
I mean, I assume that they'll play more than half the games, but it's like, apologies for the phone. Let me turn off the vibrations. But I assume it's going to be something where, like, okay, you got 8 games. If there's a back-to-back in there, then they'll only play one of the 2 games. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I also assume it's in order to get guys ready for the postseason but keep them fresh, it'll be something like LeBron might only play 25 minutes a game, so it might just it's just going to be interesting to see it play out, because there are a lot of variables in terms of the scheduling, in terms of the strength of opponent for a bunch of different teams that is definitely going to affect this race. For a team like Portland, though, it's just like if you play New Orleans once, which I don't know if they will, but just hypothetically speaking, if you have New Orleans and Memphis on the schedule, if you win both those games, you should be in position for a play-in, because you would basically get 2.5 games back of Memphis. You got to keep it within 4, and then if you beat the Pelicans, the thing is the Blazers already have the tiebreaker with them, which they wouldn't have had if they played an equal number of games, because New Orleans won the season series, but Portland has 2 more games played than New Orleans. So, like, they're tied right now in terms of games behind, in terms of games under 500, but Portland has a better winning percentage because Portland played 2 more games than New Orleans and split those games. So, won 50% of the 2 more games, just makes their 43% winning percentage just a little bit higher than New Orleans. It's like 0.001% higher, minuscule. But that comes into play for the tiebreaker. So, basically, every team but that Portland is tied with right now, Portland has a tiebreaker against, no matter what. Which you never have the scenario in a normal season because you never have an uneven amount of games played. So it was interesting to see how they were going to handle this. And Portland has the tiebreaker. So if you play New Orleans and you beat New Orleans, you're basically...
I don't think we'll play New Orleans because we've already played them 4 times.
Yeah. Have we played them 4 times? I thought we only played them 3.
I'm pretty sure it's been 4. I think we're 0-4 against them.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. In this scenario, it would make some sense to just play them again, just to have the teams that are all kind of bunched up play each other, which is why I was a fan of the pool play. It's why I was a fan of kind of separating teams and having teams battling against each other for playoff positioning play each other. But basically, Portland just controls their own destiny. Like, Portland will have Memphis on the schedule. I know that. You beat Memphis.
We have played them 4 times, yeah.
You beat... Okay. It was just more to say, like, Portland just has to take care of business. You know what I mean? You don't know if you have the Pelicans playing the Lakers and the Bucks or whatever, you don't know if the Lakers and Bucks are going to play their guys. So that might be easy wins for the Pelicans. But Portland has the tiebreaker. Portland controls their own destiny. So it's almost like, yeah, you hope that the Bucks and the Lakers try to win those games against the Pelicans or against the Grizzlies, but you have enough control as the Portland Trailblazers. You have enough control over your situation to not have to rely on other teams taking care of business for you, if that makes sense. Portland has control over their own fate, so they just need to play good basketball and win games.
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't upset about the format as you, because with Nurk and Collins back, I feel like the Blazers are going to take care of business, and then it won't really matter what other teams do. I mean, obviously they probably won't go undefeated or anything, but like I feel like they're going to win enough games to sneak into that play-in game.
Yeah, it's just there's just things with this format that I don't like beyond just like for the Portland Trailblazers. They should have won 1 through 16. I'm bummed they didn't do that. And it's also like, what if Portland is only a half game back of Memphis? Why should Portland have to win 2 play-in games to get the 8th seed? You know what I mean? They're half a game back. So like what if they're tied? You know what I mean? What if 8th and 9th are tied? Why have a tiebreaker decide 8th and 9th, and the 9th has to win 2 games? If they're tied, it should just be 1 play-in game. That makes the most sense to me. There's a bunch of different things that I'm kind of like about with this format. Another was the lottery picks being sealed. You know, it's just gonna be weird with the scheduling. That's why I liked having like some sort of group or pool play. That's why the Portland Trailblazers voted no's, because they thought that was a better idea. Just so you wouldn't leave it up to chance where, you know, maybe the Pelicans get the Bucks and the Grizzlies or not the Bucks. Maybe the Pelicans get the Bucks and the Lakers, and those teams don't play their good players and they rest, and that's easy wins for the Pelicans. And then they get the Suns and the Wizards, and that's 2 more easy wins. You know, I mean, there's a lot that can come up with scheduling imbalance. That's why I thought group play would have kind of solved that and not left that up to chance like that. But as far as Portland goes, you just got win games. That's it.
So Tori, you have a question in chat. Remember when you said Zach Collins was the next Pascal Siakam?
See, the thing is with that video,
I'm teasing.
I know.
NBA Forever said that,
but people took that like too literally. Basically, I was comparing like the way Siakam was, like who Siakam was as a player after 2 years, like not necessarily who he was as a player. Like his production after 2 years wasn't any more impressive than Collins' production after 2 years. You know, Siakam after 2 years was kind of like, oh, that guy's a role player who can play defense. You know what I mean? And then he blossomed into what he is now. It was more of saying that like it wasn't comparing them as players. It was more of like looking at Siakam's improvement and saying Zach Collins could have some substantial improvement from year 2 to year 3 to year 4. I forget the video. I kind of went in more depth than that, but I made it before last season.
Here's the deal, though. We don't know if you're right or wrong. Like
I know
Collins didn't play it all this season, so I mean he could have. I mean he was just showing out and they playing great defense. Wasn't fouling a lot. Yeah, he was shooting 40%. Above 40%, I think, from 3. Like, I know it's only at 2.5 games, but like, we can't say for sure that he wasn't going to become that type of player.
Yeah, there were some comparisons I'm forgetting, not necessarily in terms of their style of play, just kind of their situations on their teams. That was a big thing, like the situation on their respective teams.
Moving into the starting power forward role versus bench player, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really remember that video, but I do know that people were like, he plays nothing like Siakam. And I literally said at the start of the video, I'm not comparing their play style. I said that in the video, and I still had people in the comment section saying, they don't play anything alike. It's like, I know, I said that. Like, the thing is, you can say that at the start of a video, like, disclaimer, I'm not saying this, but then you'll have comments saying, oh, you're saying that. Like,
that's like when you said it'd be cool to have 3 Hall of Famers on our lineup or on the team with Gasol, Melo, and Dame.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, they're not Hall of Famers anymore. They're at the end of their career with Gasol and Melo.
Yeah.
But that's not what you were saying. You're not saying that
like
they're Hall of Fame
anybody who watches
players
me should
now.
know I'm not saying Pau Gasol is going to play at a Hall of Fame level for us. Yeah. God, man. The comment sections are just ridiculous sometimes. And normally it's just like random people that are saying just crazy stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, man. No, I know 39-year-old Pau Gasol is not prime Pau Gasol.
And yeah, Trevin, we did get our butts kicked by the Hawks towards the end of this.
That game was embarrassing, man.
That was the game where Trae Young tried to nutmeg Ariza, and he got mad and pushed him.
Bro, I don't like Trae Young. Trae Young annoys me, man. Trae Young's like corny as hell. He makes me cringe, bro. Like, not like his place, just like his antics. Like, God, dude. I don't even know. He just makes me cringe, man.
I just don't like how everyone thinks he's like one of the top point guards already just because he was an all-star this year. It's more just a product of not good guards in the East or injured guards, you know?
Yeah, put him on a winning team and let's see what he does. You know what I mean? Like, you putting up good numbers for a bad team. Let's see him put up good numbers for a good team. Like, honestly, you could easily... Well, I mean, not us, because we needed overtime to beat them at home, and then we got blown out in Atlanta. But most teams can easily beat the Hawks, so they're not like throwing, you know, constant traps and double teams at Trae Young. You know what I mean? Like if teams like guarded Trae Young the way they guard Dame in the playoffs, I think Trae Young would really, really, really struggle with that. The thing is though, like the Hawks are a bottom feeder, so you don't really have to game plan for them like that. The thing is, like Trae Young could go off and you could still easily win most of the time. You know, due to the talent around him. He didn't have any talent around him to really help him out. So it's not even Trae Young's fault. It's just like he's putting up good numbers on a bad team that nobody really takes seriously. Let's see him play for a winning team, have to deal with traps, have to deal with a defense game plan to really take him out of the game, to be physical with him, and let's see how he responds to that. Because even Dame struggled with that, and Dame's more built to deal with that. So that's the thing with Trae Young is like if he's on a winning team, if he ends up playing playoff basketball, teams I think are going to be able to kind of game plan him into having some bad series, and he's going to have to learn from that.
I think you are forgetting the last game we played him, as Hamza mentioned. Remember when we tried that weird trap where we bring the guy from across court once Trae Young like came across half court and it like never got there in time?
Yeah, if you see the trap coming for 5 seconds, yeah, it's a lot easier to deal with. That's the thing.
I'm just saying we tried to game plan, but it was a stupid game.
I know. That's exactly my point. Is like, you know, see the traps against Dame. That's the thing. Is like, how can't Terry Stotts figure out a good trapping defense? He sees it and has to game plan for it every year in the playoffs. Because that's what teams throw at Dame constantly. So why don't you just take what teams are throwing at Dame and implement it for yourself instead of like doing some weird thing where the guy in the opposite corner is the one who comes to trap. Like our traps just made no sense when we actually do trap. And it's almost like Stotts is trying to say, hey, look, see you guys that want us to switch up our defense, look what happens. And it's like, well, yeah, us saying switch up our defense doesn't mean that, you know, you should run. I don't know. It's like we could say, Terry, you should switch up your defense. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to switch it up. Here's this. He has all 5 of his defenders just lay down on the floor, and then the other team scores. And then Stotts says, see, that's why I don't switch it up. It's like you don't switch it to something absolutely stupid, which is what those traps were. God, man. We're going to get back to ranting about Stotts when these games.
Actually, I don't think they're going to do this, but there was a rumor that coaches over a certain age wouldn't be allowed to go. That would be quite interesting. He was over the age limit. I don't know. I'll look it up.
I don't think they're going to do that, but
yeah, he's 62 and it was like 60 and above or something.
I'll be down for that, man. I'm just God, it's like those traps were just so stupid. And it's just like the conversation around the coaching just drives me crazy. And I try and like paint the picture for how it looks like to me, and I kind of struggle with that sometimes, but it's just like we ask for the same type of trapping defenses sometimes that teams use against Dame. And then Terry Stotts won't use like that specific type of trapping defense. He'll have some weird stuff like the guy in the opposite corner is the guy coming to trap instead of the people involved in the pick and roll or whatever. And then people out there will say, hey, look, he tried to trap and it didn't work. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like there's multiple different types of trapping defenses. Some of them are good. Some of them are absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And people think there's only one type of trapping defense. It's like, I don't know. I just remember being very frustrated with that. Because if you're a point guard, man, and you're walking the ball up the court with no pressure, because that's also, you could have a guy maybe trapped from that far away if you were putting ball pressure on the guy and the guy didn't see that guy coming. But if you don't have any ball pressure on the guy and Trae Young's dribbling up the court and he doesn't have any pressure, so he can just survey the whole court and he sees a guy running at him from 30 feet away, he's going to be able to handle that. You know, that's the thing I didn't understand with that trap.
We also tried it in the first half of that Dallas game at home, and they tied the record for most threes and a half.
Part of that was our rotations were just horrible.
We had Swanigan trying to trap him from 20 feet away, and
Swanigan 10 seconds.
Luka's 6'7", so he can just throw it over the top of whoever comes to trap, and
yeah.
It was so
you can't take 5 seconds to deploy a trap where the guy could see it coming for those whole 5 seconds.
I feel like I could take two people off the street who have never played basketball and set up a better trap than some of those we were showing.
It doesn't make sense. It was I don't know. It's like football analogy. It's like having a safety blitz, but the safety starts 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Or 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get there in time to actually do anything effective. Instead, you're just taking him out of coverage and taking him basically just out of the play.
Plus, you also telegraph that he's doing it too. It's obvious he's about to come 5 seconds.
Yeah, you do it 5 defensive plays in a row. Yeah, no.
And he's already starting to run before the ball snap.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, man. If you have a safety blitz and you're gonna bring him up a little bit, cheat him up a little bit, get him into a position where he's close enough where that if he does blitz, he can get to the quarterback in a timely fashion. I don't know. Our traps just drive me crazy. I will end up doing a couple different videos because I have a third reaction channel that I did one reaction video on for Patreon donors, but I might just turn that into a footage channel where I just am willing to upload NBA footage on that channel because it wouldn't put either of these in trouble if anything happened with the copyright. So I might, just to actually showcase some things with footage, I might end up doing that when the season resumes, just because it's only 8 games. Probably wouldn't do it for the playoffs, but for the 8 games that we're playing, maybe after every 2-3 games, could do something like that, and I could showcase something like that. I don't know, because I definitely wish. It's hard to explain a lot of the things we're talking about. So a lot of times I even get caught up over my words. You're just I don't even know exactly how to paint the picture with my words. If I could paint the picture with the actual picture, it's a lot easier.
It'd be so nice if we just had access to, okay, here are all the pick and roll defensive schemes we run. This is why this doesn't work. This is why you don't run this versus a certain team. Yeah.
I mean, I would pay the NBA to, I don't know. Or I wish there was something where the NBA would take 50% of your ad revenue and let you upload. I don't know. I just wish there was a way we could use highlights and streams and stuff and in videos and just really go all out with it. But do what we can. That's basically what it is. So my mic keeps tipping over and it keeps distracting me. Why is it tipping over? Oh, that's why. Okay.
NBA Forever asks, would Scottie Pippen be a good coach? It's hard to tell with some players like that who there's not a lot of good players that become good coaches too. I think they get frustrated that players aren't as good as them. So it's really hard to tell without seeing them actually coach.
Yeah, but he'd be a really good defensive coach, I think.
Yeah. I would love to give him, make someone like that, a defensive coordinator type role.
Yeah. Yeah. Although his voice, I think, would get tiring having to listen to that day in, day out. His voice almost puts you to sleep. I don't know. He doesn't have the voice of a coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping with that, but his voice just puts you to sleep, dude. It's just so deep and soft.
Wonder if he'd just quit in the middle of a timeout like he did in the playoffs.
Oh God, yeah. Hey man, I don't blame him for being mad about how they portrayed him in that documentary, though.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of. It was kind of like trying. The way they portrayed him, it almost seemed like they were trying to make Michael look better by making Scottie look worse.
Although, to Jordan's credit, he did say several times that there would be no Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen. Like, he definitely gave him credit for stuff.
Oh yeah, that team had us outside of like without Pippen, that he maybe gets one championship. I don't know though, man. Like Pippen was so vital to what they did in all areas of the game. Like Pippen was definitely.
It's such a shame that he did that season that he did, because he had proved that season. I mean, he played at an MVP level that he was capable of being the number one guy. But yeah, that kind of put a blemish on it. But it was just weird. Like a lot of the things Pippen's mad about are things that he did to himself. Like that sitting out that game, he says that he wouldn't change it. Like, really, he wouldn't change that?
I mean, it's easier to say that when they actually hit the shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But then the other thing is, like, there was the season where he waited to have surgery because he wanted to party all summer, or so whatever he said. Like stuff like that. It's like, I mean, you chose to do that. Like that's not anyone doing anything. And then he also said that both the Bulls front office and his agent told him not to sign that contract when he did. And then he signed it anyway because he wanted security, which is fine. But then, like, don't complain about it towards the end when you know you were advised not to do it. So a lot of that stuff, yeah, it does look bad for him. But, like, he doesn't have anyone to blame other than himself for that stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah. Obviously, I wasn't around for that, so I didn't. I still don't feel like I have like the full understanding of just everything that went down with that team. Even though I did watch the documentary, it still isn't the same as actually living through it. But no, a documentary was actually very eye-opening for somebody like me, because like I don't know, I haven't really watched the Bulls from the 90s. You know, I wasn't alive for that. I didn't really know everything that went down. So like the Dennis Rodman in between finals games missing a practice to go to WWE or whatever it was like, I'd never heard of that before. Like that was shocking to me.
Or him just saying he needs a vacation right in the middle of the season and taking off to Vegas.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, man. If that happened today, guys would get roasted so bad. You couldn't get away with that today.
It's so hard to explain that era because there was no social media. Like the internet wasn't really a thing yet until towards the end of that run. And even then it was more just like the infant stages of it. So like it wasn't like there wasn't Twitter or things like that. So you could read like a news story or something, but you couldn't just like know where everyone is. Like nowadays, if Rodman was in Vegas, you'd see like 8 million posts about it, like people seeing him at the bar
pictures
or something, and like
pictures, videos of him.
What is he doing here? He's got a finals game tomorrow or something. You know?
Back in the day, you could say he's not practiced because he's sick or something. You know what I mean? In the middle of the season, if he misses a game, oh yeah, he's not at the stadium, he's sick. We hope to have him back next game, and he could be in Vegas, and it wouldn't really blow up because you didn't have social media. Now, if somebody tried to do that, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's sick, huh? Why is he drinking, taking shots at the bar in Vegas right now?" With a picture of Dennis Rodman. Like, you couldn't get away with that type of stuff, and I feel like.
Or same with the food poisoning. For Jordan, the flu game.
God, man, it's just interesting to think about how all that stuff would play out now. It's just obviously a completely different era, completely different time. It's just kind of crazy to look back and think about how much has changed in terms of sports. Like 25 years is a long time, but also it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about how much like social media has changed the way the NBA is, you know what I mean, and the internet, and even like the attitude of the players, and just everything's just completely different. And even the past 10 years, I think a lot has changed in the NBA, just in terms of like the way they play, in terms of, I don't know, man. It's just like the game's constantly evolving, and seeing how much has changed makes me think about like, okay, what's it going to look like 25 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10 years from now, 25 years from now, like what is the next step of evolution in terms of basketball. Because like 3-point shot, that was a huge evolutionary step for the game. Not in terms of like putting. I mean, obviously in terms of putting in the 3-point line, but like the Steph Currys and like the 3-point attempts going up, and now guys shooting from 30 feet. Dame, Steph comfortably shooting from like insane distances. Like, what's after that? You know, because that was kind of our evolutionary step lately in terms of the game, is just like 3-point shooting becoming more prevalent and a bigger part of the game. So like, what's after that?
Mike, I really hope they don't add a 4-point shot or
That'd be
like
disgusting.
Make a gimmicky thing, you know.
That'd be disgusting. Because the thing is, like, I wonder if like there was a debate around, oh, should we add a 3-point line, you know, back before there wasn't. And I wonder if people thought that was kind of gimmicky, but like that opened things up so much in terms of like the paint, in terms of the game, you know what I mean? Creating like an effective level of scoring, like that's not around the hoop. Because the thing is, if there was no 3-point line, man, it's not an effective shot to shoot from 23 feet. It's still worth 2 points. So basically basketball to me back then just looked at, okay, you get it as close to the hoop as possible. And that's that. Now it's like you have some, you know, depth to the game. You have some layers there. You don't need the 4-point shot to like add to that. You know what I mean? You already have the outside shot that's effective.
I don't know about you, but I kind of like 3-point shooting, and like that it's gone to heavy on the 3-point shot. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the skill, I do miss some of like the post moves and like inside out basketball, but I don't mind the 3-point barrages and teams trying to win from the 3-point line and stuff. I think it's exciting to watch.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the MJ documentary with my stepfather, and he just, now today they just shoot threes. It's just too much threes. It's too boring. Like, he was also talking about how a lot of the games back then were like a lot of 2, 3, 4-point games, a lot of competitive games back in the 90s. Now you have a lot of blowouts because of the 3-point shot, which kind of actually does make some sense. If a team gets hot from the 3-point line, you can easily blow a team out. Also makes it easier to come back, though.
Yeah,
3-point shooter.
That's like every Blazer game is a heart attack because
yeah, I mean, you're 15
you're up by
down.
15.
Yeah, 15 down with 7 left in game 5 of the first round and come back. I honestly think that they should slightly widen the court and slightly move back the 3-point line, because you get guys that are still very effective out to Dame range, Steph range. I'm not saying move the 3-point line back there. I'd say maybe move it like maybe 6 inches out, and just reduce the effectiveness of it just a little bit, because I do think it's, I don't know, like, I'm fine with how much of a part of the game it is right now, but it's like it's getting to the point where it's becoming a little bit too prevalent. And I think if you just slightly moved it back, you'd slightly drop the percentages on it. A 3-point make would be a little bit more impressive, because it'd have to be a little bit deeper. And I think it just balanced things out a little bit, if that makes sense. I'm not talking something drastic. I just think, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see like what that would do, and if that would create a more balanced game. It wouldn't hurt spacing or anything, because you'd still have good enough shooting from a little bit deeper line. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm fine with keeping it the way it is too, though. Like everything.
I'm fine. If they keep it like the distance it is, they still should slightly widen the court to create less of an advantage for corner threes. Because I don't know. Like, corner threes are so much shorter. Like, I understand them being a little bit shorter just because of the dimensions of the court, but they're so much shorter. Like, I think you gotta widen the court by 6 to 12 inches and move back corner threes from 6 to 12 inches. And then, like, up top, you keep it the same. I don't know.
Yeah, Mike was saying something about, wasn't there a player who missed a playoff game for his college graduation or something? I think you're right. I think it was Vince Carter.
No, he didn't miss the game. went to graduation and then flew to his game. It was a playoff game because he had graduation that morning. I actually just watched the video on this.
Didn't he play bad or something?
Yeah, and then he didn't play the best. Missed a game winner, I think.
Yeah.
So I forget what series that was, but I just watched it was an SB Nation video. It was like a beef history video. Have you ever watched those? It's SB Nation video. The videos are actually pretty good. It's just like details like players' beefs with each other. So it was like Shaq and David Robinson. This one, it was Vince Carter and the city of Toronto beef history. So like their history of beef with each other. And it's actually a very well put together video. I actually really like it. And this coming from somebody who hates on more mainstream media sources all the time. But it was talking about his graduation and then the game he played later that day, and he struggled and that type of stuff. But if you guys haven't watched Beef History by SB Nation, I recommend it. It's a really good series, really interesting. They got CP3 and Rondo, that's right. So they got a lot of different beef histories. I'm waiting for the one on Raymond Felton in Portland. That one would be a good one. Probably not as like substantive of a history because it's just one season, but that would be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not shaving my head for anything. Don't even. Yeah, right. Make Eric.
I'll shave my head.
I'll make Eric wear a wig, a blonde wig, because at least he can. It doesn't have. It's not like a permanent change for a while. Whereas if I shave my head, it's something that I gotta wait weeks to grow back. So
I can just wait like a month and then it's basically the same thing.
What do you mean?
My hair would be long.
Why you, bro? Grow it out. Let's see it, man.
I don't like it long.
But like not like long. Not
I
like
no. I mean, I just
not like this, But,
yeah.
Just a little bit. So you actually look like you have hair for once. Because even when you have hair, it's still like I don't know. I want to see you with like clean shaven with hair. I know chat wants to see that too. Like, that'd be interesting. I don't know. You'd probably look young, to be honest. You'd probably look like 25.
Are you saying I don't?
No, I'm just saying
I'm just kidding. I don't really care.
Bald guys look older, in my opinion. Just because usually you don't go bald until you're older. So like having like very little hair, I think just naturally makes pretty much any guy look older, if that makes sense. And a beard usually makes guys look older. Without a beard, I look younger. I know that. That's a fact. So that's what I'm saying. If you like went clean shaven and grew out the hair for a month, I wonder. I don't know. You'd look completely different. People would be saying, "Who's this new?" They'd come back. You should do it over the rest of this hiatus. Then when people actually come back since the season has restarted, they'll be like, "Oh, where'd Eric Brandt go? Who the hell is this guy?"
Yeah, the issue I have is I get like really dry and scalp issues.
Oh.
So like the longer that my hair is, the like worse it gets because it's harder to like clean it,
Soak that shit.
Yeah. But otherwise I would. But I can't stand hair around my ears. It just drives me crazy. So I have to keep the sides trimmed.
I don't even feel it, man.
I don't know why. It's just always both.
Because it's all around my ears. Well, I need to go get a haircut, and I was gonna. Well, that's what I do. Is I get the sides like pretty closely shaved, and I leave the top long. That's why my hair's like really long up here and longer than the sides. Because I haven't been able to get a haircut in like 5 months.
Hi, Mom. My mom wants to see you with a shaved head.
Yeah, nope. Sorry. It's not happening. I could never. I've always had like the top kind of, but like that's the haircut I like, is like shaved on the sides and like left longer up top and whatnot. So it's the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
That's what you should get a high top fade or something. Let's see, everyone. I'll get your mom to make you grow your hair out.
Back in like the mid-90s, used to have the little lines on the sides.
Yeah, did you? That's crazy.
That's stupid. Yeah. Everyone had it.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of remember that. There was like a phase in middle school where in my middle school, all of a sudden, like guys would have just these crazy designs in their hair, and it's just like, why? Meanwhile, I was the kid who like started the Rubik's cube trend at my middle school. Instead of doing the lines of the head, like I was always like bored in class, sat in the back. So one day I learned how to learning how to solve a Rubik's cube. So I took it to school and just tried to work on it. Finally learned how to solve it. A month later, I swear, bro, like half the school was coming to school with Rubik's cubes, like all different types of Rubik's cubes too, like 4x4s, 5x5s, different shapes and shit. Like I don't even know. Like I was such a nerdy kid in middle school that I literally brought Rubik's cube to school and started a Rubik's cube trend.
Like the equivalent of the fidget spinners or something.
Dude, it was, bro. It was like everybody was trying to learn how to solve like harder ones, like watching YouTube at lunch, and it was an interesting time to say the least. There's like two kids got in a fight and one spiked the other's Rubik's cube. Like there's so much like stuff that was like the biggest trend I've ever started is the Rubik's cube. I still know how to solve
with the Rubik's cube.
Yeah, it's Rubik's cube.
It's like a really weird claim to fame.
I used to be able to solve a 5x5. I was nerdy like that. I can still solve a 3x3, but I haven't like anytime lately. But
yeah,
I was nerdy like that. So that's my claim to fame. That's why I started this channel. I couldn't stand that being my claim to fame any longer, so I got I had to do something cooler than that. So now we're here.
You couldn't start yo-yoing or something.
Yo-yo, I hate yo-yos. I don't know why I hate yo-yos, but I hate yo-yos, man. Maybe it's because like every kid in school that had a yo-yo just annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Like it was always like the kids in school, the kids that would have the yo-yos would be like the self-righteous, super smug, like kid that just thought he was like a god and everybody else was below him, and he'd just sit there at lunch by himself just yo-yoing. Like, I don't know. I've always hated yo-yos because of that. So,
what schools did you go
to? Bro, there's always weird kids in school, you know? Like, there's always like kids that just like have their thing. You know what I mean? Which I guess in middle school, because I was weird in middle school. You know, in high school it was completely different. You know, I got into basketball and wasn't, as nerdy as I was. But in middle school I was like the kid that had the Rubik's cube. But then it was everybody else. But like there's the kids that, are always like on some sort of drugs at school. And there's the kids that like the emo goth kids. There's the... I don't know if you had these like when you were in school way back when. I don't know like what type of cliques you had, but there's like the emo goth kids. There was like the the ones that wore like the rock and roll t-shirts and like the black, just wore all black jeans, black sweatshirts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And then there's the freaking yo-yoers. God, man. I don't know. I'm just thinking back to high school, thinking about back at all the cliques and stuff, and it just makes me laugh at how like silly high school is. Ben, what clique do you belong to, Ben?
The Illinois.
The Illinois fans. Yeah, the one. It's not even a club. It's one person.
They only wear Illinois like clothes and have like orange face paint on all day.
Yeah, goddamn orange jumpsuits, basically.
I gotta ask Ben something now that he's here. Why the heck were you scouting Solomon Hill? That just seems really weird. Like he brought Solomon Hill up on Discord. It's like, well, why are you watching the Solomon Hill game?
He said Solomon Hill has a high basketball IQ. Like, how do you watch Solomon Hill enough to like actually come to the conclusion that he has a high basketball IQ? Because you all just like watch somebody like once or twice and be like, oh, that guy's a really smart player. You have to watch them a bunch to like come to the conclusion like, oh, this guy does a bunch of little smart things, so he has a high basketball IQ. So why do you think Solomon Hill has a high basketball IQ? Have you really watched him that much? Like, and if you have, why? Oh, Solomon Hill, man. Okay, see that makes more sense. There you go.
But like, what, you were watching it now, or like what made you think of it today? Because they're not playing games right now, and he's not even on the Grizzlies anymore. He didn't even really play that much when he was on there, and he had like a 4 year over $40 million contract. I think it was almost 50 million. Like it's not like he was some like underrated player not making any money or anything.
Yeah.
He said it in the past. I haven't seen him talk about Solomon Hill ever. I don't remember the last time anyone talked about Solomon Hill other than
that's the one reason
as an expiring contract this year.
Maybe that's the one reason why Solomon Hill is still in the NBA, because I could not figure out why that guy was still in the NBA. But I don't know. I guess that's his one good NBA skill is he's smart, because he's literally not good at anything else. He's like an average 3-point shooter. That's about it.
He was one of those guys that, like, what was that, New Orleans at the time, thought he was going to be like the next breakout player.
Yeah, like the next elite 3D guy or something, and he became neat.
He put on a lot of weight, too, which kind of messed him up.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. Portland high schoolers and Vancouver high schoolers don't intermingle at all, even though we're literally less than half a mile, or even though we're literally less than a mile away. I wouldn't say less than a mile. We're like within 5 to 10 miles, or some high schools, like, but still, like, Portland felt like a different country in high school almost, just in terms of like playing basketball, and I don't know. It's just like we're like up here doing our thing, you know what I mean? Like across the river, different state, you know, we're close, and I love Portland, but it's also like we're big enough that it's just like we're our own, almost like we're our own city.
Yeah. Because back when I was in high school, like, you barely heard anything about Vancouver. Yeah. It was even worse than it is now. Like, at least now, like, you know, those like local radio stations, game of the week sometimes is a Vancouver game or something, or Southwest Washington. But yeah, it used to be like, you know, Evergreen. Where the heck is that? Like,
yeah,
it was like a middle school in Hillsborough, not a high school in Vancouver.
What's crazy is there's parts of Vancouver that aren't technically parts of Vancouver that should be parts of Vancouver that are like a 2-minute drive from downtown. So like where I live, I'm technically not like in the incorporated part of Vancouver, if that makes sense. So like for any of those of you who like kind of know Vancouver, like Hazeldale and Salmon Creek are not technically a part of Vancouver, even though like they are, you know, if that makes sense. If Hazeldale and Salmon Creek were technically a part of Vancouver, which they should be, Vancouver would be the second most populous city in Washington State. It'd be more populated than Tacoma, and it'd be more populated than Spokane. So like honestly, I mean, I don't know the situations with those cities. Maybe they have the same thing, but like Vancouver is bigger than I think a lot of Portlanders even realize, like in terms of how many people live in Vancouver. Like it's up there with Spokane and Tacoma. It's more populated than Spokane and Tacoma if you included Hazeldale and Salmon Creek, which you really should, because it's closer to downtown than a lot of incorporated Vancouver is. And there's nothing like separating it, you know, it's suburb for miles. Like, I don't know. And we're getting our waterfront, so we're legit now.
Well, it's also kind of weird that it's lumped in with Washington all the time when it's more, like, I think it's more associated with Oregon than Washington. But
what do you mean, Vancouver?
Even though you're in, yeah, like, you know, when the whole state shuts down because there's an outbreak in Seattle. I mean, I know it eventually went into Vancouver, but like it should be more like Portland rules because it's closer to Portland than Seattle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, the rules should be based on geographical region, not just state lines, for sure. Yeah. But we definitely don't like consider ourselves part of Oregon. You know what I mean? Like, we're close to Oregon, but it's just like,
yeah, I'm not saying part of it, but like, I don't know. It's just like you have a lot more in common with Portland than you do Seattle or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, but the thing is, Washington is like two different regions. We're more like a part of like the Seattle area than we are like the other side of the state. And I think that's kind of the same way with Oregon too. Like the eastern side of the state, the desert side of the state, is complete, like the people, the way it looks, the way people, like everything about the eastern side of the state is just completely different. Like it's more rural. Like even the city, even like the cities there, Tri-Cities, Yakima, Walla Walla, it's just completely different. And it's just, that feels like more of a different state than, you know, driving to Oregon. You know, it's almost like you have two sections of like Washington and Oregon. You have like the western side, which is all green, like more urban, more democratic, you know, more liberal. And then you have the other side of Oregon and Washington, the eastern side, which is a lot more deserty and conservative and just completely different. So maybe they should combine western and eastern, or western and western. They should combine western Washington and western Oregon into one state, then the other sides into one state. That would make more sense. I mean, they shouldn't do that, but it would make more sense than what they have now, to be honest.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be better for us because I don't know. All I've read is that cases for COVID cases are going down in the western side of our state and going up in the eastern side because the people over there don't care. So I don't know. I don't even know how we got talking about this, but
because of your Rubik's cubes.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just going off on a journey with this, man. On a tangent. What's the nice part of Vancouver? Is it the Southwest? I've lived in North Portland my entire life, and I know like 3% of it. The nice part of Vancouver is the southeastern part by 205. There's different sections that are nice. So like the northwestern corner is nice, like Philida, like up through there. Salmon Creek's pretty nice, the northern side, and then like the southeastern side by 205 is pretty nice. And then kind of throughout that you have pockets of just like really kind of, the central part of Vancouver is kind of I've actually been thinking about making a map and just because I've been driving around a lot for DoorDash and seeing a lot of the city and just kind of like I don't know. I'm gonna come out with a map of Vancouver, like kind of showcasing like what each different area is like, because I've actually been thinking about doing that because I've been driving around in town and it'd be fun to make. But it's like one side of I-5 will be nice, and then one side of I-5 will be completely like scummy looking and gross looking. So it's kind of just random.
I feel like the Hazeldale area is kind of nice.
Yeah, well, that's the prime example of like the left. Like if you're looking at the map, the left side of I-5, that area is nice. The right side of I-5, like Highway 99 and through there, is really gross, and like the buildings are like old and like just like cheap looking and just like kind of just gross looking. So it's just like completely different. The left side is just like a bunch of newer buildings, nice looking buildings, and the right side is just bleh. But Hazeldale is pretty nice. I don't know. I feel like Beaverton is just like nice throughout.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I just feel like every time I drive through, I mean, maybe I haven't driven to the bad parts, but every time I drive through there, it's just like, damn, all these buildings seem new and seem fresh and it just seems like just a nice suburb. Vancouver's just kind of random. All I know about Vancouver is there's a big bridge connecting Vancouver and Portland. Ben, do you even live in Portland?
No.
How are you a Portland fan? I'm so confused. How's Ben a Portland? Like, I assume you're from like Illinois, probably. I'm curious how many people here live.
He likes them because of Myers Leonard. That's why.
Oh, makes sense now. I'm curious as to like where you guys are from, like where you guys live. Like if you guys live in Portland, I don't want to know your damn address or anything, not like that. But if you guys live in Portland or live somewhere else. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, like, I wonder how many people in the world, or if Ben's the only one who would ever say, I became a fan of a team because of Myers Leonard.
I know Myers played for Illinois. That's why we're saying that he's the reason you're a Blazer fan, is because he went to the Blazers and you're an Illinois fan. The thing is, Ben was like 7 when Myers got drafted, though. So
yeah.
With like in-state tuition, people in Vancouver can go to UO, and PDX people can go to UW with in-state tuition. Are you sure about that? Because I don't think that's. No, that's not the case. Where'd you hear that, Alvaro? Because I know people that like live in Vancouver that wanted to go to Portland State, but they'd have to pay out-of-state tuition because they weren't an Oregon resident. Like you have to be an Oregon resident to qualify for in-state tuition.
I think he's saying he wishes it was like that.
Oh.
I don't think he's saying it was.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
He's saying it's ridiculous because if you lived in Vancouver and you wanted to go to U of O, but it's out of state. But if you went to all the way up to UW, it would be in state.
Ben, I don't need you to DM me. You could just say the state, bro. Like, I don't want to know your address. I don't even have to know your city. Like, you from Illinois? You from Ohio? You from Portland? Like, like. I'm not asking for your address, bro. He's like, dude, I'll DM you my address. Shh. It's like, pause. That should be obvious. Well, I said Illinois, and you said no. You said no, ... I mean, Illinois is pretty obvious.
I think at first you asked him if he lived in Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what he's saying now, too.
So wait, why are you a Blazer fan then? I'm curious. Is it actually because of Myers Leonard?
Yeah, he said that.
No, he said Myers played for Illinois. Oh, all caps Myers Leonard. Oh, I didn't see the all caps. Yep. Wow. Interesting. When you're the first.
That's why I said he's the first.
Okay. I didn't see him say that. I thought you said like, oh, he's gonna be the first guy to.
Like Alvaro said, you should put that on a T-shirt.
My gosh, don't get that attitude with me, Ben. I'm still bloodthirsty from Trevin annoying me last stream, so.
Trevin's been on his best behavior, but he has hardly been talking.
I know, because they're like the first little ounce it was going to be Banhammer, man. So last thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about like possible channel improvements, because you'd buy a shirt with what on it?
I hope you became a fan because of Myers Leonard.
I would literally make the shirt if you would buy it, because it could take me 5 minutes to make that shirt and like get it for sale. And I became a Blazer fan because of Myers Leonard.
You got 2 customers, Ben and Alvaro.
Okay, I mean, I don't know why y'all want that. But,
you'll pre-order it.
Bro, I'll make a shirt. If a shirt sells, I'll make a shirt about anything as long as it's like appropriate, you know. So if y'all actually want a shirt, I need to come up with new merch. I need to figure out like a strategy for merch. But as far as channel improvements go, so I want to hear your guys like suggestions, and Eric, I want to hear your suggestions on possible like channel improvements, maybe content quality improvements, maybe different things that I or we could do that we're not doing yet, or things that we could change. So yeah, just opening up the discussion for anybody that.
Why does this video have 2 dislikes? Jeez, people.
I don't know. Haters, man. Leave a like to counteract the dislikes. We're stronger than them.
I think pretty much everyone in here has left either a like or a dislike.
Yeah. There's 17 viewers right now and 13 likes. So some of you have not liked the stream. So you better like the stream. Help us fight against the dislikes.
There's a 3rd dislike. Thanks, guys.
If you guys are disliking the video, then you're dead to me, to be honest. It's probably Spurs fans being like, why are they talking about not LaMarcus Aldridge?
What's up, Jake?
So yeah, I want your guys' feedback on anything that could be doing to bro, whoever. Oh. All right, let me.
Someone took away a like of what I shouldn't have said.
All right, let me pull up the stream on my own account and give myself a like. You guys leaving dislikes actually hurts us, so appreciate your support. It's probably people that like haven't donated a cent, and I'm completely fine with anybody not donating anything. I don't do this for donations, but people that have, not ever even donated or done anything, and instead they're leaving dislikes on the video. So they're not even helping me out at all. They're actually hurting me. Like Russell Westbrook, he can do whatever he wants. You know, he can leave 1 million dislikes for all I care. But
oh yeah, the Stotts burner accounts got us.
There we go. There's 16 likes. There we go. That's all I wanted. It's probably Ben out here leaving dislikes, man.
Or Mike. Mike doesn't like us.
Yeah, because we're not Clay Travis fanboys. You guys still think about doing in-game streams? I don't know exactly how we do that, to be honest. Like,
it's just hard to get around the copyright things.
Yeah, there's just technical things with that I'd have to figure out. Like, we couldn't show footage or anything. We could not show game footage at all, whatsoever. And then the synchronization issues. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how we'd format that. It would be something cool to do, but it might make more sense with like Summer League, which might not happen this year. Probably won't happen this year. If it happened, it wouldn't be Summer League. It'd be like Fall League or whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe for like the NBA Finals or something, that'd be something cool. For Blazer games, I think it just makes sense to just go live after. Any other suggestions, let me know. I do want to like create like just an outro slide for videos and then some sort of intro. Should I create an intro, or do you guys like me just going straight into things? Like an intro, like a animation or something.
Jay saying to show the score bug so people can sync to what you're watching.
Yeah, I mean the only way they could sync that is if they're watching like internet TV, watching cable. I guess you can pause cable, yeah. So I could have people sync it up. Thing is, I watch on internet TV, so it's delayed already. So people watching on, I don't know. Would definitely be a conversation for like to have in mid-July. Could talk about it in mid-July for sure, because season doesn't resume till July 31st. So 20 likes, let's go, man. Have you ever thought about doing Twitch for extra cash? I don't really like formulate my channel based around like making money or anything. It's more about what is best for you guys, like what is best for the channel. Like obviously I do appreciate, donations and that type of stuff, and I do, like selling merch. But nothing I do is like based around making money. So in terms of like streaming on Twitch for extra money, like I wouldn't stream on Twitch for extra money. I'd stream on Twitch if it was like the right thing to do for the channel. Like I do have business goals in the next year that are based around doing some other things to make money, but like with this channel, I'm more just like I want to improve the content for you guys. So that's why I'm wondering like what if you guys have any suggestions for channel improvements. It can be regarded to video streams, anything.
Benjamin says, do we know how the games will be televised? They haven't announced the schedule yet. I'm assuming the regular season games will be shown on the regional broadcast, and I'm assuming most of them are going to be on some sort of national TV too, just to have content on the channels that have NBA contracts. But yeah, not sure. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. I wish we could have like game footage and then like commentate over it. That would be so cool, but
yeah.
Discord YT emojis. I think for Discord emojis I have to pay like $20 a month or something crazy. YouTube emojis I could do, but you guys, the way through YouTube to do them, the only way you'd get them is if you paid like $2 a month, $5 a month. I don't exactly know.
Well, Trevin knows how to do the Discord ones. I'm not sure if he paid for those or not. He says Discord emojis are free.
Are they?
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I could maybe come up with some Discord emojis.
On his Discord channel, we've got all kinds of emoji pictures of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to copyright those and sue you. Because I wanted those for my channel only. You better have Eric emojis in there as well.
That wasn't him, though. It was that was Ben C. Darling, which is a little weird that he has so many pictures of us on his phone.
Weird, man. Send me an invite to that server. Let me see this, man. Have y'all ever sent me an invite to the server? Or you just going behind my back, you assholes.
No, I think there was a time where you said you weren't gonna sign up for anyone else's server.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure you were invited.
Send me that. Somebody messaged me. I want to see these emojis. That's the only reason I want the invite. Well, message it to me. I'm not gonna go find it right now. I'm streaming, Trevin. There we go. He already sent it to me. All right, let's see these emojis. So. Oh, y'all didn't even do them. Y'all so weird. Y'all don't even do them right. You got to do them with like the transparent background, man. What the hell?
You eating the wing is awesome.
God.
You eating a burger?
Oh my god, man.
I don't know why Ben has all these.
Y'all so weird. All right. Okay. You gotta make the background transparent, though. Y'all failed at making those emojis. You could have made them better. I'm just saying. Since they're a meme of me, I'm allowed to give my feedback on the quality of the meme because it's of me. So, I don't know. Well, I'll mess around with some emojis for YouTube. I think you just got to become like a channel member because I can turn on channel memberships. And honestly, I'm thinking about possibly opening those up. Like I do have people that donate to me on Patreon. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with that. But like the perks on Patreon, I might edit the perks on Patreon because I don't know. I might edit the perks on Patreon and say if you're not, happy with the perks or whatever, you can always, stop donating if you want to. That's your own, decision on that. But I didn't want to open up channel memberships for YouTube because I had Patreon. But at this point, I might open up channel memberships on YouTube because that's how you guys. I think it might be with YouTube where you have to pay like $2 a month in order to get channel emojis or whatever. I don't know exactly how it works, but I might like actually fully look into it now. If you guys want, should I do that? You guys let me know.
Alvaro has a suggestion. I don't know if you want to read that.
Where's it at? He
said, like I said before, the format you had on the other Blazers channel you used to make content for was super engaging to the point, easy to digest, maybe better to hook casual basketball fans who don't have a good attention span.
Wasn't that what I was doing with like my previous videos on Blazers Uprise? Are you talking about like my content on True Blazer Fan? Because my content on True Blazer Fan was a lot like my content that I've been releasing lately on Blazers Uprise.
And he had it to where he put highlights on his channel, so like...
Yeah, so like I could do highlights, so I could do like film breakdown and stuff, but like I don't do that here, so it's a little different in that regard. But everything else I think is like pretty much the same, maybe even a little bit better, so I'm kind of confused. If you could clarify, that'd be cool. Would you guys start Zach and Nurk right off the bat? Yes, I would.
I would too. I don't think it's going to happen though.
They should, man. If they continue to start Melo, I can understand maybe starting Whiteside and having Nurk off the bench for a bit. I'm still not a fan of that, but I can understand that more than starting Melo. Like, you cannot have Melo in the starting lineup. Our defense is absolutely terrible with Carmelo Anthony in the starting lineup. It's horrible. Like, beyond awful with Carmelo Anthony playing next to Damon CJ. Gotta put Zach in there. But what else did I want to do? I wanted to create a new stream overlay. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas for like what I could do with the stream overlay. I want to like radically like improve the overlay we have. I just don't know exactly what I want to do with it. I don't know what I want to do with the background. But if you guys have any suggestions for the stream overlay, let me know. I could even do it as simple as just having like our camera feeds be full screen. It'd be like a lot cleaner. I don't know. Could suck it up in a Star Wars zone and play with me and Eric. I don't have the space for it, man. I wish I had the space for it. But even then, I probably wouldn't play like crazy. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of those types of games. I play Rocket League mostly.
Even though, I suck at those games, it's been fun hanging out most nights with Westbrook, just chilling, playing some games.
I've already been through my like Battle Royale phase, to be honest. I played so much Fortnite like 3 years ago. It was crazy. Would you think about doing Rocket League streams just to chill? Maybe on a gaming channel.
Bones Gaming.
Yeah, I don't like that name. I don't know what I'd do with the name. That's part of the problem. I maybe would, but the thing is like now I'm working like I worked like 48 hours in the past week. So like I'll have a lot of time for like the channel. So like on my downtime, it's like I gotta focus on the channel. Yeah. So I don't know if I'd have time to like actually do like a game. It would be fun to do a gaming stream. I need to just figure out a balance with everything, if that makes sense. So.
And then part of the problem with the content of the channel is we don't have basketball content right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like normally this would be, NBA finals time, and then we'd be talking about the draft coming up in 2 weeks. And this would be like a super exciting time for the channel because you'd have all the draft prospects to talk about. You'd have free agency on the horizon. You'd have trades happening. Then you could break down finals games and stuff. But like, it's easy to say to come out, like keep coming with video content, but like it's hard to stretch that into content when there's not much going on.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm like trying to get channel improvement suggestions right now, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to, focus on like, okay, what can we improve? Because we do have a lot of quiet time right now. But then once things start back up, it's going to be crazy for like a year and a half. So that's why I'm going to start like asking you guys for advice for things I should add. So I want to add like an animated intro. I think that would be cool. And and an outro slide. Do you guys like mailbags with like background music or no? Because the past couple I haven't done background music, but before I did, I feel like it almost takes away. Maybe I should do different background music. What do you guys think about like the background music and stuff? Eric, you can also let me know what you think too, because
I like it when it's not too loud, but I kind of like the flow. Like some of your older videos where you have like a nice flow and tempo to like the way you're talking, like along with the beat, like that. I think it really that makes sense.
That's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
I want to
put it on
say
after.
yeah, but there was like I don't know. Sometimes it just kind of lines up well. But like trying to think of an example.
I've never thought of that.
I remember like a video where it was maybe it was like a Kevin Love video or something where you're showing shots of someone like in a gym just shooting, but it was like an NBA player trying to get around the like copyright stuff.
It was Kevin Love.
But like videos like that, like where it's just kind of like a short video with music and like your style of talking matches up with the beat. Like I think those are nice, and it's not like super long videos either.
God, I have 4. Okay, 2 of them were podcasts. One of them was a video. I was gonna say I searched Kevin Love Blazers Uprising, like 4 videos popped up of mine, like with Kevin Love in the title. Kevin Love wants to be traded to the Portland Trail Blazers on December 11th, 2019. 8 months ago was the video you're probably talking about. I titled it About the Kevin Love to Portland Rumors. That video got 1.8k views. I miss those days, man. I miss the days of early fall last year where everything I posted just freaking got an insane amount of views. It's been decent lately. Like getting 1,000 views on a video was good. Especially like in this downtime, you know. So we got 2 videos with 1,000 views. Eric's video got 1,000 views. Congrats, Eric. And the mid-level exceptions video got 100 views, and then the LaMarcus Aldridge video will probably get 1,000 next week. I got some other with 800. So videos are kind of doing better. Obviously, I'm uploading more videos compared to just streams. But it's just kind of crazy to look at like the ebbs and flows of the channel. Because last fall I was posting stuff and it'd get like 5,000, 6,000 views. Our second podcast got 3,000 views. That was our Trade Talk Marathon. But before that, CJ's extension video got almost 2,000. Mailbag number 3, DeRozan and Aldridge to Portland, is this rumor real? Got 6.6 thousand views. The Pau Gasol sign with the Portland Trailblazers got 14,000. I did a video said, did we learn anything from Summer League? And it got over 6,000 views. The thumbnail wasn't special. It was like, did we learn anything from Summer League? And I was shocked. It got 6,000 views. Like, I could post stuff like that and it gets 6,000 views.
That's when people are excited about the season coming up in Western Conference Finals, and then we started playing like ass. And
it was like 90%, 80 to 90% of those views were people that weren't subscribed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like those videos. Another mailbag, 5.4 thousand. Resigning Rodney Hood was the best move of the offseason, almost 3,000. Can Hassan Whiteside supplant Yusuf Nurkic as Portland's long-term center, which was a mailbag, 7.4 thousand. Like, everything I posted, man, was getting thousands of views. Portland replacing Jake Layman with Mario Hezonja, I don't like it, got 7,000 views. It didn't even make a thumbnail for that. Like, God, it's just crazy looking back at the views that I was pulling last fall. The Siakam Zach Collins video was 6,000 views. Yeah, I do miss that. Just because you have a lot of like people that don't normally watch the channel engaging in the comment section. That was cool. And it's just, I don't know. As a YouTuber, it's fun to put something out there that 6,000 people watch. I think my most viewed video. I wonder what it is. Most popular. Here we go. It's probably the Nasir video I made. Oh, the Darius Baisley draft profile I made got 24,000 views.
We had the post game show after that Jazz game where the goaltending call or non-call that has 2.8k views.
Yeah, that was our highest post game stream views.
Ben said, "What did you get? Like 50 views on post game shows?" No, we were starting to hit like 1,000 views every post game show for a while, and then they turned crap again.
Yeah.
Like right after Melo signed, there was like a period where it was like popping.
Well, we picked it back up to getting like near the end of the season. We got 1.5K February 9th against the Heat. February 1st, we got 1.5K against the Jazz. That wasn't the goaltending game, or maybe it was. No, it wasn't, because February 7th was a goaltending game. Yeah. It'd be fun to actually get stuff recommended. That's why I took the streams off the main channel, was to hopefully get my channel in better standing with YouTube. And the thing is, I wasn't getting any subscribers, and the streams were kind of messing up like my videos and stuff getting recommended. So I'm hoping that it'll kind of pick back up when the season starts. I am trying to formulate, like, I don't know. I do have a content plan, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to do as far as some certain things. I do want to do draft profiles, and I want to split them between here and like an NBA Uprise channel. But I need to pre-record them, and I haven't started pre-recording them. So over the next 3 days, I'm going to try and start pre-recording draft profiles, and obviously I wouldn't upload them for a couple months. I just want to get ahead on them. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to formulate a plan, but formulating plans with like YouTube is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas, Eric, because I'm trying to think of like things that I can do or we can do to like increase exposure with this channel, and maybe, I don't know, just grow, because we kind of got stuck for a bit.
I think, I mean, this might be kind of a cheesy way to do it, but doing like your blast videos that you said if they got 100 likes, you would start blasting stupid Twitter takes and stuff. Like, I think those videos get views as long as they're not too long.
Yeah. It'd be fun too.
And also just like ripping some of these trades that get proposed on.
Dude, I might have to do them. The thing is like, let me think about this. The thing is like those videos would make more sense if this was like a general NBA channel. You know what I mean? Because it's appealing to like obviously more than just Blazer fans. Yeah. It could be a good way to bring in Blazer fans, which is why I might do it. Even if I don't reach 100 tweets, because I think I'm at like 60 right now, or at 100 likes or whatever it was. But Jake, I'll respond to that in a second. But it'd be even better if I had like a NBA Uprise channel. So the thing is like I do want to do an NBA Uprise channel, but I don't want to like sacrifice as much content as I post here. So I would want to pre-record a bunch of things, and like mock drafts and stuff could go into that. And I do have a plan that I'm not going to go deeper on. I know like there's a couple people in chat that know my overall like long-term plan, and Eric knows it. But the thing is, with that long-term plan, if that NBA Uprise channel, I'd probably just end up deleting any like roast videos, because like the type of content going into the future wouldn't really fit with like me roasting people on Twitter. You know what I mean? With what I'd want to do with that channel. So I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck on how to like go about it all. I don't know. But those roast videos would be good. It would bring in a lot of people. And I could post it on Twitter and possibly have it blow up. I'm just thinking of like Blazer fans that don't watch us yet, but maybe know who we are. How do we get them to like become consistent viewers of ours?
Yeah, I just think a lot of people don't care right now.
Yeah. I do think when we get games back, we are going to have to try and find the right tone in terms of like our criticism of the coaching. Like, I think there's a line that we can walk where we can be real, but like maybe not as overboard as we have been, which, because I think, I don't know, it's tough because like obviously over everything
trying to censor me.
No, like because we say the same things, you know what I mean? So it's not even like censor you. It's like, it's more of like, obviously say whatever you want. That's like the beauty of YouTube, and don't want to change that. But also, I do know that like some people get turned off by like how hard we are on Stotts, even if like how hard we are on him is completely 100% justified, and it does drive some people away. And it's almost like, okay, how can we keep it real, be 100% truthful, be 100% honest, but not drive away people that disagree with us on Stotts, if that makes sense, you know? I don't know. What do you think of that?
I mean, I get why you're saying that. I just think if you start to like consider that when you're talking, then you're not always breaking it down the way you should. I mean, I guess there's a way to do it in a more respectful way, I guess, is how I'd put it. But I don't necessarily agree with saying things a certain way just to get people to listen more, because that's exactly the point of the channel, is to not be like all the other channels that only do stuff that way, you know?
I 100% agree with that, which is why it's like, okay, how can we, I don't know, like what is the best, I don't know. Because I do 100% agree with that. So it's like, how do we do that without completely turning some people off? You know what I mean?
I think maybe just say like, this is why I think Stotts made a bad decision. He didn't have the players switch picks on the in-game situation, and it resulted in an in-3, and this coaching stuff like this that makes us question why people think he's a good coach and stuff like that, versus just saying like Stotts is trash, screw that, you know, like, because we do get mad and kind of go off sometimes. So.
I think part of it may be just word choice, you know, like we could get mad and just be like, this doesn't make sense to me. Why would we do this? Why would, you know, be like questionable of, instead of like, this is so stupid. Like, why the hell would you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, part of it could be word choice, and it's not bad to go off like that every once in a while because it's entertaining, you know what I mean? But I think part of it is, like, people that do disagree with us, we're not like other media members who just like, oh, clown, idiot, blah, blah, you know, like just completely go off on people. But I do think, like, when we try to make a point, we sometimes get too caught up on trying to make that point against people that disagree with us, you know, and we could end up stuck on something for 10 minutes just with one person in chat just because they disagree, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, I feel like a lot of it is just like us repeating the same point over and over again, them disagreeing, and us trying to like convince them or make them see what we're talking about, where they just will refuse, you know, and it almost turns into like us maybe kind of picking on somebody. I don't know.
Trevin has a good point. The season at times was so bad that it was hard not to be like negative, though. Like, we always talk about, if we would have had this channel last year during the playoff run and stuff, how awesome it would have been, and it would have been crazy. So yeah, it would have just oh, sorry, got distracted by people's mix. He said maybe bring up your college career more. I'm assuming that's a joke, but because I'm
assuming people's mix is trying to live through my college career since he never had one.
Oh, nice.
I assume that's why he's saying that, you know. But like, it's just like finding the right mix, the right balance is very, very tough. The thing is, like, local media doesn't come close to it. I think we do a better job of pretty much anybody there out there covering the team in terms of like finding that right line. I just think, like, if there's a way that we can do something better, like, I want to try and do it, you know. I want to be as best as we possibly can, if that makes sense. So, like, a lot of like, okay, maybe we can improve this, maybe we can improve that. A lot of it might be like kind of nitpicky, but also it's like, how do we, you know, how do we be better, you know? So like, that's, you know, a lot of media guys don't, I feel like don't reflect on how they are with fans and don't reflect on how they portray themselves and don't reflect on a bunch of stuff. And I feel like they would be better if they did. So like me personally, it's like I want to reflect on how I can improve over streams and over videos and just with the channel in general. So I know you guys are joking around, but it's actually something that I do think about a lot. Like,
see, yeah, just I think it's a lot more just consistently having, like, if they know every game 10 minutes afterwards we're going to be live, you know, that kind of thing, where they're not like guessing what time we're going to be on, stuff like that. That could generate something to where it's like appointment TV, you know, you always know when Talking Ball or now Blazers Outsiders or whatever is going to be on after the game. It's like 20 minutes after the game or whatever. I know some nights it's like impossible to do that, but yeah, then just building off the momentum of that, and yeah, just trying to keep the people that do find us and keep their attention and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see the dynamics if you do that thing where you switch channels halfway through the post game streams and we go to like chill mode.
Yeah, I do got to figure out how to market that correctly, if that makes sense. Like leading into streams. I'll probably need to say we'll be live over here for about an hour where we'll bring you just straight up analysis and a thorough breakdown of the game. But after that hour, we'll be headed over to our second channel, Blazers Uprise Live, where we can hang out with you guys a little bit more and talk about whatever. The thing is, I wouldn't want to say where we can hang out with you guys a little bit more and talk about whatever. Like, I'd want to like word it better than that, you know, more in a more marketable way than that. But I'll have to figure that out. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, because the thing is, if like people are like, oh, I don't know how long the stream's going to be, they might tune out faster and like, oh, they're going to be breaking this down for 45 minutes and then switching over. I don't know. I just think it'd be a good way to section it off. And
yeah,
I don't know. But have you considered the language we use in the show is prom to getting the video demonetized less recommended? The language that I use in videos doesn't get anything demonetized. I haven't been demonetized for really anything. I don't say bad words. I might use that as word a little bit once in a while, but it's not something that's like affecting the video performance. It's not, I don't know. Like, nothing I say in terms of streams and stuff is affecting video performance, in my opinion. It is a good, like, I mean, I'm not saying you have a bad point or anything, because it is something that could happen, but I don't think we're anywhere near bad enough in terms of, like, the language we use. You're doing post-game streams for the playoffs this year, right? I mean, if we're in the playoffs, yes. Just talking about the algorithm, yeah, I think it was more just like separating the streams and the videos. When the season comes back, the videos should do better, and hopefully, I don't know, you just gotta get your videos to the point where like enough people like them, enough people are clicking on them, people are watching them long enough where they start to get recommended to other people, and streams kind of pushed that down. It kind of held it down from getting recommended, even if the video was doing good. So it's just kind of getting back to that point. But yeah, I do think something we could improve on live streams is like not getting too frustrated with people, because I think you and me are kind of the same, Eric, where we do kind of like, people just say some ridiculous stuff sometimes and make some ridiculous arguments, and then they don't listen, and it can be really frustrating to like try and have a conversation with somebody who doesn't listen and just like is spewing off just random dumb stuff in the chat, you know.
Alvaro says no, that's the fun part.
Yeah, it's just like, I know that we've driven a couple people away because like we've gotten frustrated and maybe we're a little bit too harsh on certain people, just because we were kind of like frustrated with them, if that makes sense.
I still feel bad about the trade deadline day, but like, yeah, I
Yeah.
felt like someone was pushing my buttons a little bit.
No, I know, and that's the thing. People in chat will push, buttons and stuff. But yeah, that is like kind of an example of it. Which like you didn't even do anything like bad. It was more just kind of like I could tell like you finally got like frustrated enough to just kind of go off a little bit, and you didn't say anything bad. It was more just like the tone and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I was getting annoyed by it too. So like, I get it. I get frustrated by the same stuff. I think it just helped to maybe, I don't know, be a little bit more patient, even though it's very hard for both of us. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm singling you out over that instance, because I know I've probably done the same thing with certain people in different instances. It's just hard to remember. Like, for somebody like me, it's hard to remember that I'm even a YouTuber. Like, I'm a Blazer fan. I look at it as like, I'm a Blazer fan talking to you guys about Blazers basketball, and you guys are talking with me back. You know what I mean? I don't view myself as like, oh, I'm a media person or whatever. Or I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to remember. Like, I run a YouTube channel that has almost 3,000 people subscribed to it. Like, it's hard to remember that and keep that in mind, Like, almost 3,000 people have liked my content enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna subscribe to it. I'm gonna hit that subscribe button. It's hard to remember that, but since I'm in that position, I have to hold myself to like a higher standard than if I was just like talking with some friends that are Blazer fans. You know what I mean? And they were saying some annoying stuff. Because it's almost like we are media people in a way. So I don't know. We're celebrities. I mean, like, Eric is a cult figure, like, he is a cult figure. He has like a cult as like a subsection of this channel. Like, that he actually has people that think that he should run the channel and not me, and that I should just like go F off from the channel and let Eric run it. But I don't know. Like, I just think we do a lot of things good, and it's almost like, how can we like build on that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, start using Instagram. Get someone who actually does it, unlike Leo.
Yeah, Leo. Actually, Ben said he'd do it, and I forgot the login. I forgot to get it to it. But Ben said he'd do it, and I actually have confidence. Not Ben Darling, Ben Hewitt.
Okay.
I actually do have confidence in Ben Hewitt being like consistent with it. So I don't know if Ben Hewitt's watching, but I do need to message him back about that. Since I've started working and all this, I've kind of put some things on the back burner. So that's another thing, is like, because I don't like Instagram really, but Instagram would be helpful, and I could help Ben, run it.
Ben C. Darling was probably like, "Wait, what? What was I supposed to
do? I was supposed to run your Instagram." Eric Uprise Live, the Eric Uprising. That's the cult. Yeah, so do need to get on Instagram. I'm just trying to think of like, how can we market it to Blazer fans that don't watch us yet? Like, how can we bring them into the fold and give them, and what can we give them to like actually get them to watch?
See, this is really hard, but so Trevin does have a good suggestion to try to post on the Blazers Uprise Twitter account more. That's another thing we need to figure out how to log into.
Yeah. But do you guys want that? Do you guys think that page should be run like 503 for the fans runs this page, or like?
See, I think it would be good to have, you could have like polls on there, or like have a daily question, or I don't know, just something to get people to interact with that Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And we could always respond with our own personal messages too.
Yeah, like if you want to start beefing with somebody, don't pull a Stevie and start beefing with somebody from the official channel page.
Yeah.
But Ben, you trying to get 5-minute banned again? No, I'm not hitting on True Blazer fans content. I'm just there's just a history there, But
the problem is we have, like, it's really hard to do with our schedules, but like if you could announce like every Monday 4:00, join the show, like come watch every Thursday night 9:00 or 10:00 or whatever time we decide, like, and then so like all these people would see that, like every time they looked at Blazers Upper Eyes Twitter, there was a big banner that said live shows at this time on this date, and then they were for sure happening at those times. I think then you start to build like an audience, like, oh, it's Monday, 4:00, let's go watch the show. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I 100% agree with that. I need to like pre-plan streams more before like getting home and then like trying to put together like the stream like quickly, and you know, it being kind of the stream starting depending on when I finally like get the thumbnail together and get like the idea for it together. Like I need to like do a better job like pre-planning with like a title with a thumbnail and just being like, okay, I have everything set up where I can get on and immediately go live. So like if I'm working and have a delivery at 3:15, I can get home 3:30, boom, start it. You know what I mean? Like where it's less like where I'm kind of scrambling last minute to get a stream together, because that definitely affects like the times and whatnot. And we don't really have like specific start times, so having specific start times would definitely be helpful. And I can actually like plan my work around a specific start time, so it's not something where like I should be able to like implement specific start times and that type of thing. So like the consistency in terms of the uploads, in terms of stream start times is definitely something that I've always struggled with, but I should be able to improve, and I think definitely would help, as you said, Eric. Consistency is definitely important. But as far as the Twitter page, like I'd have you with access to it so you could post stuff. Because the thing is, like, if we to actually grow that Twitter page, it'd have to be like consistently posting from it, and like I know like me and you don't have the time to like post on it as much as needed, so it'd have to be like a group effort. So maybe me, you, maybe you know, Ben, if he's going to be running the Instagram, he could also help us with Twitter if he wants. I would kind of be worried about like giving access to that account to just anybody. But like even if it was just somebody just to retweet stuff, you know, because that's stuff that can help grow a Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, like, I don't know. I do want to come up with a Twitter strategy, though.
I have to say thank you to Trevin. He's been really good about posting videos on like Facebook and Reddit and stuff lately. That really helps a lot. We appreciate it.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Because like Reddit's like confusing to me. I don't even mess with Reddit. So if you post stuff on Reddit, it's definitely something that can help bring people into the channel and just increase discussion on other platforms. So if you guys like spread videos, it always helps us. Even if a video finds one guy who then consistently watches our videos, you know, you sharing it and bringing one person into the fold is like huge for just our growth and whatnot. So, and the thing is, it's never going to become something where we become so big that we forget like who's here right now, you know, who's like our OGs, you know. So it's not something like, you know, we're gonna try and grow it to the point where we're just like, oh, now we're big time YouTubers, screw you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, yeah, we do want to grow, but we do appreciate what we have at the same time. You know, it's not like, oh, we gotta grow, I'm not happy with what we have, you know, I'm not happy with where we're at. Like, I love what we have, you know. We're just obviously do want to grow the channel.
It's like, for me personally, this is like the worst time of the season after the trade deadline and then till like the draft, basically, where there's not a lot of trades. You can't do trades even if you had a perfect trade lined up or something. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't really sign anyone because most of the rosters are full. So like it's hard to stretch out like the stuff I like to talk about. And then combine that with this year being special where we had a huge break in between the season and now all that stuff's pushed back several months. So that kind of sucks. Because like I said, normally this would be one of my favorite times of the year, getting ready for the draft and free agency in a couple weeks. But yeah, unfortunately we don't have that right now. So it'll be interesting to see like implementing some of this stuff once the season comes back, and then we're going to be right up against the end of the season and then right back into a new season right away. So the off season is not going to be as long.
Yeah.
Be interesting though.
That's why I do think we need, or at least me, maybe a few, if you want to do some stuff like pre-recording now for like draft profiles and stuff will make it easier on us then to like handle off-season content since it will be condensed, because I can upload stuff and have it scheduled to release like 3 months from now, so that's kind of the plan with some like draft stuff potentially, with some draft profiles and that type of stuff.
We should do like each I don't know if we could maybe combine this into one video or maybe do separate ones, but like have like our top 10 big board or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then see how that changes over the next 5 months or whatever until the actual draft, or I guess like 4 months now, 4.5 months. It'd be kind of cool to be like, oh, this week I have this person rising into my top 10 and look back on it, like have a video comparing our big boards now that like to right before the draft and then after when the draft plays out stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. As far as draft content goes, like I did want to start an NBA Uprise channel just so like general stuff can upload there. Thing is, I just want a bunch of stuff pre-recorded so it wouldn't be something where like I start something up and couldn't keep up with it. I wouldn't want to sacrifice stuff on this channel, so I do want to start pre-recording. I just been sorting out a bunch of stuff the past 2 weeks, haven't been able to get the start that I wanted. But in terms of like draft profiles, I wanted to do like 30 to 60 draft profiles. I wanted to split them between like Blazers Uprise and this NBA Uprise channel, and then I wanted to do mock drafts and have like a mock draft 1.0, which is just a normal mock draft, and then one mock draft 1.5, which would be like a mock draft with trades, and split those between Blazers Uprise and the NBA Uprise channel, just to hopefully grow the NBA Uprise channel, its general NBA content and whatnot. The thing is, I just want to pre-record all the draft profiles before I start releasing them, so it's something that I wouldn't have to worry about, so I would have content set. So like, I don't know, it would be like every day I'd release a draft profile, but basically every other day on each channel, if that makes sense. So it'd be like Monday, draft profile on Blazers Uprise, Tuesday, draft profile on NBA Uprise. I don't know exactly like when we'd start releasing those or what that'd be. Like it'd be cool to like filter in draft boards with that. I don't know. I don't know what you think of that, or like if you have any suggestions for that. Like big board video would be cool to like filter in with that. We'd probably have that over here since it could be something with like me and you. We could, or if you wanted to do a draft board video, since I'd be doing like mock drafts, you could do a draft board video. I don't know. It's something that I'm definitely interested in, that I do want to do in terms of like a big board type of thing. I just trying to think about how I'd filter that into what I already have planned. So if you have any suggestions, let me know.
Okay.
What do you think of that, though?
Yeah, that'd be cool. It might be a little weird having like half the prospects on one channel and the other half on another channel, but
yeah. See, like part of that is like the tough thing is I would have them all on NBA Uprise if I had like a monetized NBA Uprise channel. The problem is it's not monetized until you have 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 hours of watch time, which is actually quite a bit. So part of it is like it would be nice to make some money off draft profiles, especially since they can blow up, because my highest viewed video is 24,000 views with a Darius Baisley draft profile. That would make me like $100, if that happened. But I wasn't monetized back then. That was the problem. A lot of my big time videos I wasn't monetized with. So part of it is like, it would be cool to monetize some, but part of it is like, okay, I do want some on NBA Uprise, because if they blow up after the draft from people going back and watching the video because their team drafted somebody, it could help bring them to the channel, to the NBA Uprise channel, which is more of a broad, would just be a general NBA channel. So that's where I'm kind of stuck on that. That's why I was going to do half and half, if that makes sense. I don't know. Because it is kind of weird, but it's tough to choose, like, do I monetize them or do I put them on NBA Uprise so that can grow? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You used to have a fan account on Twitter that some of the trustworthy OGs have access to run way you just simply multiply community outreach. I think I'm going to do that with the Blazers Uprise account. You know, because the thing is, if we have consistent stream times, we wouldn't need to tweet out when we're streaming, you know, because that's what I've used it for. Excuse me. That's what I've used that Twitter account for, to tweet out when we're streaming. And I tell people, oh, we don't tweet from that much, so you can turn on account notifications for us, and it should just be whenever I upload a video or go live. But if we go live at a consistent time and uploads are a little bit more consistent, we wouldn't need to tweet it out. And then we still have Discord for when we can tag everybody when we're going live or when I've uploaded.
Or you could also... is there a way to like start the stream earlier? So like, but like it doesn't start until this time. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we could do a countdown. Kind of like what I did with the trade deadline stream.
Yeah.
Do like a 10-minute countdown until we're like actually live, and then go live, 10 minutes before and have that countdown. Like a cool looking countdown, because a lot of streamers do that.
Because see, if you had, like if we knew today we're going on at 4 whatever time, like in the morning or even last night, you could post like the link to the stream or something, and then like 10 minutes beforehand post it again, and then maybe someone would see it last night and be like, oh yeah, there's a stream today that they saw it last night and were interested in checking it out, but then forgot about it, and then they saw us like post the other thing.
Like posting the link where though?
Like just posting it early, like.
Oh yeah, because I can schedule a stream. The thing is, when you schedule streams, is like it sometimes doesn't send out notifications for when you actually go live. So that's why I don't like schedule streams usually. Yeah. But I don't know like how much of a, I don't know how often that happens, how much of a glitch that is. I don't know if there's, I don't know.
Well, doing it this way, it doesn't give out notifications all the time either.
Yeah, that is true. So I don't know, like I could schedule them. I could schedule it, but I don't know. It's just like a trade-off with like the potential that it doesn't send out notifications, like, because I do think that is important, because it is like a reminder that people get to their notification feed. But if people are also in Discord and I tag them, that's important. I just assume if I start tweeting out a bunch on the Blazers Uprise Twitter account, people aren't going to want notifications turned on for that account if they're constantly getting notifications from it, if that makes sense.
Right.
But so like I do think that maybe trying to get more of a stranglehold on Twitter from the Blazers Uprise Twitter account would be important. So like having like me, you, I'd probably, Trevin's like Trevin's good with Twitter. So maybe Trevin, if you were interested in like helping us with that. Just people that I know like are active on Twitter. Because that's the thing. It's like a lot of it is like reacting to stuff as it happens and retweeting stuff. Like just like 503 for the fans is really good at Twitter. So like what he does on Twitter is really good for building a following. But he like follows like a specific model with like the way he like retweets stuff and the way he engages with stuff. The thing is he spends a ton of time on Twitter though. So like if we kind of follow the model that he does, we could definitely grow our Twitter page to 3,000, 4,000 followers. So I kind of want to follow like kind of the model that he does, if that makes sense. Yeah. I just definitely need help with that. So having multiple people work towards that could definitely grow our Twitter presence. And then if we have 4,000, 5,000 followers and we're tweeting out a video link, would definitely help our channel.
For sure. Those Blazer group chats, like Trevin said earlier, might help too. Just posting the link in there.
Yeah, I have been.
Yeah.
I have been. I've gotten
like,
the Brady guy doesn't hate me anymore. The Juju guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't know. Like, he thought I held a grudge against him because of, like, our beef in the past. I'm like, bro, I don't hold a grudge over that. Like, it happened months ago. Like, I don't know. So I know that he's actually, like, watched some of my stuff, and I have gotten some of those guys to watch some of my stuff. They just don't tune into live streams. Yeah. That's another thing. Is, like, how do we get people to tune into our streams, our daily streams?
Once again, I just think people, it's like, between what's going on in America right now and the coronavirus and all that stuff, I don't think people really care about basketball that much.
Yeah, so that's definitely part of it. I'm just trying to figure out like the best way to optimize it, because it's something that I think about a lot on my own, but I never really talk with the stream about it. And definitely, like, me and you could definitely like try and figure this out more together, because I do definitely think about like this type of stuff, but I never really am vocal about it or like talk with the community or with you enough about it. And I think if it was more of like a, you know, this community, like the OGs that we have, you know, in here, and me and you, if we work together more as a team, we could definitely like figure out some better ways to grow the channel, if that makes sense. Because I definitely just want to, I just want the stronger voice that we have in this community, I think the better, because I think a lot of the big Twitter accounts and a lot of people that cover the team all are kind of the same, if that makes sense. And we're just, the way we look at things is different. The way we cover the team is different. Some of our opinions are different. So I think if we were able to grow it to the point where we had more of a voice, I think that'd just be good. A good thing, you know what I mean? Just because I wish you had people in the community, even if it wasn't us, just I wish you had people with a big voice in like the Blazer fan community that didn't think Stotts was some godly coach, you know, like didn't just say the same stuff. So,
man, Trevin, I hate the real player hours tweets on Twitter.
What are the real player hours?
It's just like someone will be like, "Oh, my real ones, this is the Gary Trent hour," or something.
Oh, I hate those. You know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter that I would not want to do with our page that I hate. The just spitting some facts for the timeline and this player greater than that player. Like, that type of stuff is just dumb to me. Like the you know, the player hours, stuff like that. I wouldn't want to do like the basic like casual, because there's like casual NBA Twitter and there's diehard NBA Twitter, and I feel like you can appeal to both, but I wouldn't want to do like the casual fan tweets type stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would want to be above some of the stuff that I've seen. I'm forgetting some different types of tweets, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Man, some of those people just seem so desperate to try and get someone to like their tweets. It's like, dude, you're trying way too hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about. I mean, you can like it if you want, but I just say what's on my mind. I don't really care.
I'd want our Twitter page to like keep the tone of our channel to be consistent with the tone of our channel, if that makes sense. I don't want, if we have people from the outside helping us with the channel, I don't want them like saying their opinions on stuff through the channel Twitter page. You know, it'd be more like, you know, maybe posting a daily poll for us, because Trevin's been doing some daily polls.
This happened, what do you guys think? And then you can respond with your own Twitter thing, not an opinion based, just asking a question and getting a conversation started.
Exactly. Increasing engagement with our Twitter channel. You know, retweeting stuff, like if Dame has a good tweet, you know, retweeting that, or you know, just that type of stuff. Because that would definitely help us grow our Twitter channel page. Yeah. So that's like what I'd want help with. But I would want to stay away from the this player greater than this player, spin some facts for the timeline. You know, like you guys know what I mean by the casual Twitter type of tweets. Like, God, I can't hate. I'll snapshot some examples, so that when we do get some people together to help us with Twitter, I'll have some examples like, let's stay away from this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Just the trolling type of stuff I don't want. You know what I mean? I want to be like above that. You on your personal accounts, on my personal accounts, like troll all you want, you know, I do. and I will troll OKC fans and that type of stuff. But from like the Blazers Uprise Twitter page, I want it to be like above the typical BS that goes on Twitter, on NBA Twitter, if that makes sense.
For sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. I missed most of the stream, so I don't know what we're talking about, but I feel like Monday mailbags on Mondays consistently will bring viewers. I do want to get back to Mondays. Today's a Monday. I thought today was a Sunday for some reason. Today's a Monday. But I've been working like crazy. So I'm gonna get up a mailbag tomorrow, and I'm gonna say they're going back to Mondays. Tomorrow in the video, I'll say they're going back to Mondays. And I'm gonna get them back to Mondays. And I will make a consistent effort, because I stopped making an effort to make them on Mondays. I just said they're mailbags. I stopped trying to make them on Mondays, because I did for a long time with True Blazer Fan upload them on Mondays and called them Monday mailbag and was consistent with them. So that is something that I will want to do. Like that's just in terms of like consistently having a consistent start time for streams and having a consistent upload schedule.
That's Alvaro has a good suggestion. You could post on Discord before you tweet it, and like make sure people are like agree with that, or like think it's a good thing to tweet or something.
It'd just be nice to be able to like have people that we know we can trust to like tweet the right stuff on Twitter, so we wouldn't have to like review stuff. If you tweet out something that we're like not really a fan of, we'll just bring that up with you and say like, hey, I'm not, I don't really like this tweet for this reason, and then you can learn from it. You know what I mean? It's just Twitter, so it's not like something like if you post something we don't like, it's not a big deal, unless it's like something that's like horrible, and at that point we just take away your access. But the thing is, we're not gonna, we trust Trevin, we trust people, So
it could be as simple as just like texting us, hey, I was thinking about tweeting this, what do you think? And we'd say thumbs up or something, and then go with it. Definitely should.
I don't know. We want people that we can trust without having to like supervise, but if you do double check with us, that is a good thing as well. So
there's really no reason why our Twitter couldn't have as many followers as the YouTube channel, right?
No.
I mean, obviously not everyone's on Twitter, but there's also people that
you can get a lot
are on Twitter.
Yeah. You can get a lot of followers on Twitter just from following people on Twitter. It's a lot easier to get 3,000 followers on Twitter than to get 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Because on YouTube, to get a sub, they have to like your videos. First off, they have to find your videos, and then they have to like them enough to like want to consistently watch them. That's a lot harder than like, oh, I follow this guy on Twitter and he sees that I follow him, so he's going to follow me back.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I got my tweet retweeted and somebody that didn't follow me saw the retweeted tweet from somebody else and, oh, they're going to follow me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier to get a follower on Twitter than it is to get a subscriber on YouTube. Like, it's probably, I don't know, like, if you follow 5,000 people, I think it might be just as easy to get 10,000 followers on Twitter from that than to get 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. People don't realize how hard it is to grow on YouTube. Like once you get a bunch of subscribers, it is a lot easier because a lot of your stuff just gets recommended. But so there's no reason we shouldn't have 3,000 followers on Twitter. If we really tried, we could. And part of it is like, you know what? Let's start following people on that main Twitter account. Let's start following Blazer fans from it. Who cares about our follower numbers on that? And then if people, after a while, don't follow us back, we can unfollow them. You know, I mean, like, that's a strategy that a lot of Twitter accounts use. That's something that I don't personally do with my Twitter account, but we can do that with the Blazers Uprise Twitter account. Why not? It could help our channel grow. So,
yeah.
So that's something, if you're helping us run Twitter, that's something that you can help us with, too. It's just helping us, maybe try and gain followers just from following other people. Because I think the Twitter account only follows like 30 people and has 300 followers. Let me check.
And I know a lot of people like beg for follows and stuff. So
yeah, wouldn't be doing that for sure.
No, I mean like it's good to follow those people back because they like like it,
for sure. Let me look. Yeah, the Blazers Uprise Twitter account right now is following 43 people and has 305 followers. So if we don't follow you back on that account, don't take it personally, because I'm never on that account looking through the timeline, and I don't think anybody's going to be on that account looking through the timeline. The thing is, people we do follow, if you do follow people to try and get a follow back from them, probably just end up muting them in the timeline, because I want the timeline to be just like Blazer media stuff. Do you know what I mean by muting people, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you can follow 10,000 people and only have like 30 people show up in your timeline if you mute the other people. So anybody like we follow fan-wise, we're probably going to end up muting, just so that if you're helping us with the Twitter page, the timeline will just be stuff that could potentially be like retweetable by the Twitter page, like Yusuf Nurkic, Damian Lillard, maybe other Blazer big time like Blazer Twitter accounts or something, stuff like that.
Does that make you not see when they react to it though?
No, I think you can see when they react to it. I don't exactly know. I just want it to be easy for people. I don't know. This can be something that we talk about like in Discord as well. And we'll message people. We can create like a group chat with people that want to help us. So if you want to help us, I'll post something in the channel related feed right now. If you want to help us with Twitter, and if we could have like 6-7 people wanting to help us. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to have you help us. So I don't want it to be something that you take personally. Because we can't, I don't want like to have like 8-9 people we have to keep track of running the account, that it's just like hard to keep track of. We just want a couple of people. So there is definitely going to be people who want to help us that we don't have help us. I just don't want you guys to be upset about that. But I will post something in the channel feed saying if you want to help us with Twitter, leave a thumbs up on this comment. So I just posted that. If you want to help us with Twitter, leave a thumbs up on this comment. If you leave a thumbs up, we'll kind of like look over who wants to help us, and we'll put together like a team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we could do some sort of Alvaro suggests like a countdown to the season resuming or something. Might be kind of fun.
Like a countdown video or a countdown?
No, just like 38 days till sometimes they post like a jersey number or something.
For like Instagram, yeah.
Like getting closer.
Yeah, I could create some like, I don't know. That would be a good like Instagram, and see that's the thing. Like that's why like if Ben's gonna help me with Instagram, if Ben Hewitt is, then he could help me out with Twitter, because like a lot of stuff you could post down a countdown on Twitter and on Instagram in like the same like pictures, like the same type of stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do want to formulate like, just because social media is powerful. So I have wanted to formulate a like more clear-cut social media plan. I just need people helping with that, because I don't have the time to like completely work on a social media strategy by myself. Mm-hmm. You have 12 subs, never posted a video. Congrats. Let Trevin run Twitter. I'd want to be a YouTube mod if you ever got to the point where you wanted one. For sure, man. When the season resumes, before the season resumes, I will look at potential YouTube mods. Westbrook, I know I could trust you being a mod, so you definitely would be somebody that I'd give the option to. Trevin would definitely be good for Twitter, because he's on Twitter a lot, and Trevin's somebody that I definitely like to have help with the Twitter. But yeah, I'll maybe should I make a social media tab in Discord, or is that like kind of pointless? Maybe I could organize the Discord a little more. I don't know.
You could just lump that in with the channel related stuff, because it all has to do with the channel.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll just keep that the same. So tonight I will be setting up team sheets for like the sim part of it. So what I'm gonna do with the team, like you have your team sheets, your like salary cap information, the stuff that's Eric's done. I will create a second sheet under your team, and it'll be like stuff for the sim, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like your coach feedback and different stuff for the sim. I will try and set those up tonight, and I'll be doing like the training camp portion tomorrow or the next day. Probably Wednesday would be easiest. Doing that Wednesday it gives me time to finish them tomorrow. But it shouldn't be too hard to do those sheets. Have you thought about asking a sponsorship from BlackRock, considering you go there all the time? I actually have, but it was when I just started off my podcast, my live streams. But genuinely, how can we help you get sponsors? Because you must be missing the SeatGeek revenue. If you guys have suggestions for sponsors, just let me know. Like SeatGeek's good because it's just affiliate program, so they already sponsor with a bunch of like social media people and a bunch of like YouTubers. So it's a simple sign-up process, and basically it's just a code that helps people save money and I make money. So if it's if it's an affiliate program like that, then it makes sense. Like BlackRock doesn't have anything like that. But if the stream I'd want the streams to be like better looking in terms of visual quality before I start like going and trying to like get sponsors where I could have like a segment of a stream be a sponsorship, if that makes sense. I don't know. But if you guys have any like companies to suggest for sponsorships, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. The thing is, the SeatGeek revenue, a lot of it wasn't even based around the channel. A lot of it I was making because I was like advertising SeatGeek other places on the internet. But yeah, if you guys have any advice, any help you want to provide, message me on Discord. Pretty much all you guys are on Discord. So go ahead.
Doge, I just messaged him on Discord, so see what he says.
All right. Yeah, definitely just want to like, because I've been kind of going without a plan for a while. And I kind of want to have a plan to kind of slowly put in place over the next month and a half while we get ready for the return to basketball. And hopefully by then we can be in a really good spot.
Doge is saying that he responds to people. He said no one's messaged him lately. So I don't know what's going on, but
Manscaped. I hate the Manscaped ads. Oh man, like Manscaped wouldn't be a bad company, but how many of you watching this are gonna? I don't know. Manscaped's kind of cringy to me. It's just kind of a weird thing to have advertising, you know. But like businesses like that you know like sponsor on YouTube are great to recommend. So if you guys have any suggestions, just let me know. You can DM me or post in the channel related feed. What does Manscaped do? It's basically like trimmers for your balls, like that area. That's why I'm kind of like, eh. Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. They sponsor a lot of YouTubers, but it's also like, eh. But it's an ad nonetheless, and you can make it not so clean. Yeah, there's just something weird about. Oh, not so cringy. Yeah, there's just something weird about advertising Manscaped. I don't know. But wait, it's basically like grooming for your your area, Yeah. G Fuel is another option. G Fuel would be good. G Fuel would be good. Alvaro, if you have like any suggestions, send me a message on Discord so that after the stream I can like copy it over. I can. I'm a SeatGeek, but
who is Alvaro on Discord?
Yeah, is Alvaro even on Discord? He has to be.
Oh, you're Femme Solo. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
It's weird when people have a different name on there than they use them.
Why aren't you Alvaro Bazan? I love. Is that your real name? Because that's a cool name. I can also change your nickname in this server to something else if you wanted to keep Femme Solo for every other Discord server. So everybody knows you as like Alvaro Bazan. Do you want me to change your nickname to Alvaro Bazan, or? Because I know there's people in there that I'm like, I had no idea who Femme Solo was.
Yeah, I've seen him posting a few times.
All right, I'll change your nickname because I have changed the nicknames for like people to put the team they're controlling next to it and stuff. But I will do that for you. Femme Solo, change nickname. Oh, there we go. He's now Alvaro Bazan. Good old Alvaro. Because like we got people in there. I have no idea who they are. 225 Colton. Agrippa, Avi, Bad vs. Good, Barry, BEHRRY. Like, who are these people? You know what I mean? Like, Brett.
Bad vs. Good used to post sometimes in the comments.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people like Darren, Derek, Connor MC. Like, I have no idea who they are on YouTube. I don't know if I'd recognize them. Like, I just have no clue, But then again, we do have almost 2,800 people subscribed to us, so it's kind of crazy. But
yep.
You're a noob at Discord. Do you know how to message? Because just if you have some like ideas for potential sponsors, then message them to me on Discord. That way I can easily find them. Because like G Fuel is a good one, and that way I can just copy them over to a list and actually like look into it over the next month and a half. Yeah, so I've gotten some good feedback. Thank you guys for your feedback. I do really appreciate you guys giving me feedback on this type of stuff. Yeah, so I'm definitely got some things to think about. The Twitter stuff, I need to figure out, like, because there's like a weird thing with the account where I can't log on to it on the computer right now, that I got to try and fix with the Blazers Uprise Twitter account. So I got to figure that out, and then we'll kind of look at who we want to have help with that, and maybe look at some mods. Maybe we could put mods in like in the next week. There's not really any reason to wait. But we'll kind of start figuring that out, and we'll communicate with you guys through Discord. Have you also thought about maybe promoting local sports bars? I haven't seen people do much of that, and it seems like an obvious connection. And yeah, I know how to use Discord. It's just that I'm new. Actually, at the start of the season, I wanted to have like sponsors each stream, post-game streams, and like the live streams we did. I wanted to like go out and try and get like local sponsors, and have them, have them sponsor. The thing is, I was just starting doing streams, so it probably wasn't the best time. Thing is, bars might not even be open.
It's tough right now.
So, like, honestly, as far as like having local sponsors and like in-stream sponsors, I think between the resumption of this season, the finish of this season, and the start of next season, I think like in between those two seasons would be the time to really start to maybe try and look for that. because hopefully the channel will be a little bit bigger, and the quality, I do want to try and improve the quality between now and then, and the better quality the streams are, the higher chance somebody looks at that and says, oh, I'm down to sponsor that.
What business owners do not like Stotts?
You. The party store owner. But yeah, we'll definitely look into that in October, November. My voice is getting sore. We've streamed for 2.5 hours. I don't have that stream stamina anymore. Man. I don't have that stream stamina anymore, so I'm probably gonna log off. If you guys have any other advice or feedback or help you want to give, hit me up in Discord, and I'll be on there. So anyway, thank you guys for the feedback. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for the stream. We'll catch you guys Thursday or Friday night. I need to decide when I specifically want to do those. I'm thinking Thursday night is a little bit better. And we can talk to you guys then. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.